Just over a week since the government imposed a hike on gas and diesel prices here in the capital, allowing petroleum dealers their long-sought-after increase. As it stands now, the price of gas at Esso is $5.03, Texaco $5.04, and Shell $5.12. In the interim, discussions continue between the government and the Bahamas Petroleum and Retailers Association officials. Although petroleum retailers wished for a bigger profit margin, the Minister of State for Public Utilities, Fenton Nemore, is satisfied that the hike will sustain their businesses. Nemore informed our news team today that a commission will soon be appointed to further monitor the petroleum industry.
Those discussions indicate, or the commission indicate, that there should be an increase in margin or decrease in margin. That is something the government will take into consideration.
Now, earlier this year, the Ministry of Environment spearheaded a national effort to distribute energy-saving light bulbs. Now that the ministry is leading the charge for Bahamians and residents throughout the country to seriously use energy appliances more efficiently. ALTV's Munnings reports that they believe just a little adjustment will reduce energy consumption or reduce it.
Did you know that B.E.C. spends $250 million annually to produce electricity? Add to that, Bahamians spending $1 billion just to use power. But are you among the thousands of Bahamians who need to learn more on energy consumption? Well, get ready for National Energy Awareness Week next month. This inaugural event will raise awareness on the careful use of energy, educate residents on sustainable energy use, and on current forms and future options for the provision and use of energy nationwide. Here's a tip from the Minister of the Environment, Earl DeVoe.
Just 2-degree increase in the temperature results in up to 4 to 6% increase in savings. Turning off computers and other unused energy devices in your homes and businesses can significantly reduce energy consumption.
If you didn't know, the flat-lying islands of the Bahamas is the 4th most vulnerable place on Earth for rising sea levels. And although energy costs have skyrocketed since 20 years ago, it's very important for Bahamians to make informed energy choices.
Energy prices impact the price level of virtually everything in society, particularly food and transportation. And I cite these examples mostly to show that in spite of the changing conditions, the behavior of Bahamians, except perhaps in Andros, in respect of energy has not necessarily been adjusted, and many of us continue to suffer under the heavy yoke of high energy costs.
Now, the government wants to take the lead in energy education. 46 energy audit surveys were recently conducted on private and public buildings, as well as 600 households. The Minister of State for Public Utilities, Fenton Nemore, asserts there is much more we can do to improve energy efficiency.
Research has suggested that the largest electricity savings potential exists for small hotels. Overall, if we are able to reach the ambitious goal of 50% of energy savings in the hotel sector, we recognize that it is a tall order and will require the participation of both public and the private sector.
Activities observing National Energy Awareness Week kick off November 4th with the Bahamas Home and Builder Show and concludes with a tree planting ceremony on November 11th. ALTV's Munnings, ZNS News.
So how many of you went to the International Food Fest this weekend, or perhaps Farm Fest? Well, this weekend, residents here in the capital had a great time as they had a variety of events to enjoy, even an album release party. In this Arts and Entertainment report, Sion Thompson gives us highlights from some of the events.
It's been a fabulous weekend here in the capital with many positive activities going on, and one of them was the album release of Fresh Paint by musician Fred Ferguson.
Congratulations to Fred Ferguson and of course the Ministry of Tourism for actually backing a project like this. You know, a song like this, like they say, one of the main reasons why they wanted to do it was people come to the Bahamas to do films. They want commercials done in-house that would go out to the world. And you want to present, you don't want to hear reggae music. You don't want to hear hip-hop. You don't want to hear Frank Sinatra singing in the background about the Bahamas. You want to hear something that's Bahamian. And I think this epitomizes that.
It has a touristic side. We expect to sell the actual product online on Bahamas.com. We intend to use the product as in our promotional material and so on. But we also hope to turn on a new generation of Bahamians to some of these classics.
Meantime, over on Arawak Key was Fam Fest, where thousands of Bahamians gathered to see gospel artists like Vashawn Mitchell.
I'm always so happy to come to the Bahamas because it's such a great place and they just embrace the music so well. And the worship experience is second to none. As you noticed, I just started singing and everybody started singing with me. But it was so good to sit here and see family like Mount Tabor that come out and sing with me. Just the embracing of Vashawn Mitchell Ministries and the song is just like coming home, like family. I'm always inspired by birthing worshipers and the expression of people when they enter into the presence of God. The song Nobody Greater come from a place where, I was dealing with a lot of stuff and everybody else was like going through, losing their homes, and just in between, I wanted to point them back to the source and not their resource. So just to see people who are just depending upon God again and knowing that God is the greatest, it's just an amazing experience.
Nobody great. There's nobody greater, no. Nobody greater than you. Now, can y'all say that?
Make sure and stay tuned this week as there's more to come from the local arts and entertainment scene. Once again, I'm Cyan Thompson.